Ram Ram, hello all. So my name is Shivam and today I'm going to talk about the measure of central tendencies. Okay, so I think in last session I talked about different kind of statistics along with the definition of statistics. Okay, so I we talked about descriptive statistics where we use and I talked about like there are different techniques through which we can describe our data. Okay, so some of those techniques are also termed as a measure of central tendencies, or you can say a measure of centers. Okay, so so in this session, along with their definition, I'm also going to talk about their significance. Okay, so this is the main idea or the main concept which we need to understand, that what is the significance of a mean, median, or mode on our data set. Okay, so what kind of impact they are going to put in our data set. Okay, so let's start with a mean. So the very first idea of a measure, or the very first idea of very first technique inside a measure of central tendency is a mean. Okay, so now if I talk about a mean, so mean is what, so mean or average is equals to the sum of the measurement and divided by the total number of the value inside a data set. Okay, so so this is also called a arithmetic mean or the average, and it is a if you talk about the definition, so it is nothing but we just take the sum of all the values inside a data set and divided by the total number of values, divided by the like total number of data inside a data set. Okay, so this but like this is denoted by two things. Okay, so if there is a sample mean, okay, so suppose if I take a data from a sample, so if it is a sample mean, so it is denoted by x bar. Okay, but the formula is going to say same, so xi divided by n. And if it is a population mean, okay, so if I am going to find out the mean in a population, okay, so if the data set is in a population, so it is denoted by mu. Okay, so the formula in both the places are same, but this symbol is going to change. Okay, so for the sample mean it is x bar, and for the population mean is going to be mu. Now if I take a very simple example, so if I try to find out a sample mean of any data set, so maybe this is my data set xi divided by n, and suppose I have this data set in my mind. So it may be a 2, 9, then 11, then 5, and then 6. So the mean of this data set is nothing but 2 plus 9 plus 11 plus 5 plus 6 and divided by 5. Okay, so I think you are able to do this calculation because the calculation is pretty simple. So it's 22, 22 and plus 11 is 33, and 33 divided by 5 is nothing but 6.6. Okay, so this is going to be your mean sample. Okay, now in a similar way, the second idea or the second technique through which we are able to describe our data is called a median. So if I talk about a median, so now what is a median? So median is nothing but this is a middlemost value or the middle position. Okay, so the value which is in the middle which is in the middle of the data set is considered as a median. Okay, so to find out the median, so first we need to arrange the data set in a ascending order. So suppose if this is my data set, so suppose maybe this is my data set 2, 9, 11, 5 and 6. So suppose if this is my data set, so the median is nothing but what we need to arrange this thing first in an ascending order. So when we arrange this thing in ascending order, so this is going to be 2, 5, 6, 9 and 11, and the median of this data set is going to be 6. Okay, because 6 is the value which is in the middle. Okay, now suppose here it is we are having an odd number of data inside our data set. Maybe if you are having even number of data, okay, so suppose along with 2, 5, 6, 9, 11, suppose we have a 27 also. Okay. Now the median in this case is equals to b. So we have two value which is in the middle. So we have 6 and we have a 9. So the median is going to be 6 plus 9 divided by 2, and this is equals to 7.5. Okay. So this is our median. Okay. So this is so median. When the data set is like when a data set is having odd number of variables, so the middle value is going to be median, and when it is having even number of variables, so we are going to take like two values from the middle, and then we try to find out the average of those two values. Okay, fine. Now if I talk about a mode, okay, so mean, median, and mode. So mode is what? So mode is again a pretty simple thing. So the mode is nothing but it is a category that occur most frequently. Okay, so you can say the mode is the category which occurs most frequently. Okay. Now, if I ask you that, if I give you a simple data set like this or anything, so and I ask you that what is the mode in this data set, so yes, you're able to find out. So suppose this is your data set, 3, 4, then 5, then 1, then 2 again, then 3, then 1, then 7, then 2. So now if I ask you that find out the mode of this data set, so I think 2 is a number which occurs 4 times, 1 occurs thrice, then I think 3 occurs twice. So 2 is a number which occurs more frequently. So the mode of this data set is going to be 2. Okay, so these are all the things which you are able to find out with the help of mean, median, and mode. Now, okay, so these are the like simple cases or simple things which we are able to identify or which we are able to find out from a data set. Now, if I talk about the significance, okay, so which I told you earlier that it's better to find out the significance of a mean, median, and or mean or median before okay, so that is the most important thing. Okay, so the significance of mean and median is what? So the significance of mean and median, if I give you the example, so suppose I take one data set, okay, so a very simple and easy data set, so that it's become easy for us to to do the calculation. So suppose we have 5 or 6 values in my data set. Okay, so maybe 2, then a 3, then maybe a 5, then so 2, 3, 5, it is equals to a 10, and then again maybe we are having a 3, then we are having maybe a 7, and then we are having 100. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a 6 data. So there are 6 value inside this data set. Okay, now and make it a 4 and 6. It will be much better. Okay, now if I ask you to find out the mean of the data set, okay, so the mean of this data set is what? It becomes 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 100. And I give you a kind of a data set which is pretty easy to calculate again. Okay, so here we have I think 20, and 20 plus 100 is 120, and 120 divided by 6 is going to be a 20. Okay, now if I ask you to find out the median of this data set, so the median of the data set becomes a 2, 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and then 100. So the median becomes what? So the median becomes I think again we have 2 values in the middle, 4 and 5. So 4 plus 5 is 9, and 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. Okay, so you are able to observe that if I add just one value, and this is called an extreme value. Okay, so this is called an extreme value, or you can also call it as an outlier. Okay, so this value is termed as an outlier. Okay, so if we introduce an outlier, or if we introduce any extreme value in our data set, so the mean is going to fluctuate. Okay, so the mean is more sensitive towards an outlier, but the median is less sensitive towards an outlier. Okay, so this is what we are able to observe if you try to if you add an outlier. Okay, and now suppose if you add one more outlier. Okay, so maybe if I take two more, suppose if I take maybe a two more outlier or one more outlier within this data set. So this mean is going to fluctuate a lot, and this mean is not going to give you any idea about your data. Okay, so what kind of a data you are having. So this mean is not going to describe that data, but at the same time, median is a good representation of your data, because it's not varies a lot. Okay, so this is the idea, or this is the significance of mean and median. So suppose if your data set is symmetric. So symmetric means what? There is no outlier and all the data is normally distributed. Normally distributed means a kind of a normal tendency. Okay, so a kind of a normal behavior. Okay, so if the data is symmetric, so the mean is going to be equal. So mean is equals to a median. Okay, so this thing is going to be equal, or very much equal. Okay, but if the mean is greater than median, so I think in this case your mean is what? Your mean is greater than median. So now your data set is going to be skewed. Okay, so your data set is going to be skewed in a right hand direction. Okay, so this data set is going to be skewed in a right hand direction. So here mean is greater than a median. Now suppose if we take outlier in a negative side. So suppose we have all the data in 100, 200, 300, and just we have 2-3 values, or maybe one value as 2. Okay, so at that case, so it becomes a left skewed. Okay, so here it becomes a right skewed. If we so this is having outlier in a positive side or in a right hand direction. If you are having a outlier in a left hand side, so it becomes a left skewed. And in a case of a left skewed, so your median is greater than a mean. Okay, so this is what happens. So suppose so this is a case of a symmetric. Okay, so this is a graph when your data is a symmetric. Okay, now if your data is like a skewed one, where mean is greater than a median, so it becomes what? So I think every value is here, and then there are just a few values, or there are just a single value which is on this side. And similarly in case of a left skew. Okay, so most of the data set is on the right hand side. Just like a few data. Okay, so you can base it in a way. Okay, so I think my drawing is not very good, but yeah, I think you are able to understand that a lot of data is on the. Okay, so this is a significance of a mean and median. So always remember that mean is more sensitive to an outlier. So this is going to be your key point. Okay, so you need to note this point, or you need to make a star of this point, that mean is less sensitive towards an outlier. Okay, oh sorry, mean is more sensitive to an outlier. Okay, and median is less sensitive. Okay, so always remember that if your data set is containing an outlier, always remember that if your data set is containing an outlier, so always try to find out the mean. Okay, so always remember that the median, always try to find out the median, because at that time median is the good representative of your data in comparison to mean. Okay, so you are able to describe your data with the help of median, not with the help of a mean. Okay. So that's it, guys. I think that's it from this session. Measure of central tendency. Now, in the next section, I'm going to talk about a measure of variability. Okay, so I'm going to take you an idea and along with the significance of a standard deviation and variance. Okay, so that's it for now. And thank you so much. Ram Ram. Bye bye.